Hey, Krista girl. I hope my lighting looks okay. I don't think I've ever went live this early in the day before, so the lighting is a whole lot different than in the evening. Thank you, Krista. I am just watching Jenny from Rose House Crafts finish up. For anybody that might hop on or catch this replay and wonder what I'm doing. Alright, get myself pulled up here. Alright. Hello, everybody. Please say hello as you hop on. I am Janice with J-Will Creations, and there's been a couple of scheduling changes in the event today. I am in the Creative Clubhouse group. So I know a lot of the presenters and the hostesses, they post that nice little schedule for everybody. But I do recommend joining the actual group if you are not part of the Creative Clubhouse already, so that way when there are scheduling changes, you don't miss anybody. I've been kind of going a mile a minute here this morning, or now afternoon, throwing something together. So I decided to go ahead and make a door hanger, a springy door hanger. I'm willing spring to be here. I'm very tired of the cold. Hello to everybody. Miss Jim, Kelly, Jenny, hi, J-Well, I love it. And as Kelly would say, J-Will in his house. And Miss Krista, and let's see. All right. So thank you to all of the presenters that were on before me, and there are several to come after me still. So be sure, again, if you are not following the Creative Clubhouse group, to go over and do that. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I have this wood round that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. There's actually two of them here. You just need one. I know there's a couple of presenters that weren't able to make it today. I know Miss Dina from Aries Moon was not feeling well this morning, so if you guys could all send her some well wishes. My comments don't want to stay up here. Hi, Miss Tammy. How are you? I think that says Nora. My eyes don't quite see that far in front of me, so I apologize if I miss anybody. I am going to start painting the round here with some ballet slipper in the Waverly chalk paint. And it is brand new. It's not been opened yet. How is everybody doing today on the Sunday? I hope everybody is well. I'm going to try not to splatter and make a mess on myself. My comments, let me go out and come back in. I like to say hi to everybody. There we go. All right. Give this a quick little coat here. This wood is going to really soak up the paint, so we might have to go over it a couple of times. Hey, Brittany. I think my son is going to be on his way to your house soon. I'm going to grab a piece of plastic to put under here so I don't dirty up my table too much. I am a messy painter. So I'm sure most of you are new to my page. My page is fairly new actually in itself. So if you're not already following me, I would appreciate if you gave me a like and a follow. And any of the other pages that you may see down in the comments, if you would go over and like and follow their page as well. It is free to do that, and it is so appreciated by all of the crafters. And again, thank you to Miss Kelly and Miss Janice and Jenny and Krista for having me here in the group. This is actually my first time presenting in this group, so I am excited and thankful to be here. I love this ballet slipper. It's a very pretty color, and I thought it was fitting for the spring sign. Has anyone done anything fun and exciting this weekend? I know Miss Jenny with Rose House Crafts, she just returned from a cruise. So I'm sure she is tired and needs some rest. You almost have to have a vacation from the vacation, I feel like. She had quite the stories to tell about her cruise. My friend Brittany is on here. She's my cruise buddy. We like to go on cruises together. And Brittany, you'll have to go over and listen, watch her replay and listen to what all she experienced on her cruise. Our time slots in these events are an hour. Up after me is Sweet and Sassy Crafting. So if you are not following her page, be sure to do so. But again, all you have to do when you are in the Creative Clubhouse group is refresh your page when I get done, and then she will be put into that group so you can watch her from there. That way you don't have to page hop and try to find everybody. These groups make it so easy to catch all the creators. And today's theme is Crafter's Choice, so I'm sure you'll be seeing a little bit of everything from each presenter today. Okay. All right, so that's what we've got. I'm going to set it aside so it can dry. I forgot to grab a cup of water. So, baby wipe. I may not actually have to give it a second coat. It doesn't look too bad, but we will see what it looks like after it dries. Okay. Wipe my hands real good here. I don't want to get this pink. I'm going to use some wood cutout bunnies. These are actually from Chalk Couture. I have so much Chalk Couture stuff, and I don't use it very often. So when I had the opportunity to come on today, I thought, well, I could pull those out because they're easy and quick to use, and I have everything for it already. I don't know if these bunnies are still available on the Chalk Couture website. But there's this little baby bunny here. He's cute. And I do have a couple of others that I've decorated in the past, and they stand up on their own. So the ones I have done before, I actually use them as cute little shelf sitters. And they have these transfers. Are you guys all familiar with Chocateur? I'm sure you've seen a lot of other crafters use them. But they are like a stencil that you just push the chalk paste through, and it makes it so easy. If you're not a painter, you can make some really pretty stuff, detailed stuff, without the stress of trying to paint everything. Like I said, I have made these bunnies in the past for shelf sitters, so there was 4 designs on here, and I'm going to use the 2 that have not been used. But these stencils, the transfers, are reusable. Let's see here. And these are 2-sided, so the stencils, the transfers, actually have the directions flipped either way. You can flip your bunny either way for them to fit. So I'm just gonna line it up here the best that I can. Doesn't necessarily have to be perfect, but I do want it to be as straight as I can get it. Alright, so I have that stuck down on there, like so. Hello Beverly, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. And Miss Donna with Cypress Designs, your little project today was absolutely adorable. I love everything that you make. Okay, so I have a ton of different paste colors, but I went through and tried to pull out the ones that were most springy. So this one is a coral, and this one is eucalyptus. So I think since our background is that ballet slipper, I'm going to do the bigger bunny in eucalyptus. Probably going to have to give these a good stir because I have not used them. Hello, White's Creative Designs. How are you? I believe you were on later this afternoon, as well as Miss Jim with JEF Creations, an old woman making things, and Loretta with Handmade with Love by Loretta. And I apologize, I can't remember who else was on the lineup today. Like I said, I'm filling in. It was kind of a last minute for me to be here, so I don't remember. So this is a pretty thick, if you've never used Chocateur before, it is a paste and it is very thick. Give that a good stir. Okay. Set that out of my way. Hey Carol Ruth, how are you? Thank you for sprinkling. I appreciate you. Again, if I apologize if I missed anybody coming on. I try to say hello to everybody, but when the comments really start rolling, it's hard to do that. So now I have this squeegee. I am just going to pick up a little bit of this paste. A little bit goes a long way. So I just got some of that on there. And you're going to push it down through the transfer. And when you do it, if you hold your squeegee more at an angle, I find that it works best. And just push in with pretty good pressure to make sure that I don't miss any of the spots. And when you use these transfers, you do want to go fairly quick. You don't have to go super quick, but the paste will dry, and so you want to make sure you lift up your transfer before the paste dries. Otherwise, you'll pull up the paste off of your project and then miss some of that detail. Oop, my transfer moved on me. Let's see. Alright, looks like it's all pushed through. And there it is. It's so cute and so easy. And then I will take this to my sink later and just rinse it off with some room temperature water. You don't really want to use anything too hot because it will remove that adhesive from the back, which I have done. I am notorious for leaving my transfers sitting for days at a time, and then I have to really scrub to get them clean. So I don't recommend doing that, but I have, and then I had to scrub too hard that I've pulled the adhesive off the back. I got just a little bit here on the side, so I'm gonna clean that up. Again, thank you everyone for being here today. I do appreciate it. I'm on a mission to try and grow my page. I think I'm a little shy of 600, and my goal for starting January was to hopefully double that number in 90 days. I don't know if that's realistic or not, but we all have to have goals, right? And I need to do better about going live more frequently, but we do have 6 kids at home, busy kids, so it makes it hard to really do anything super consistent or planned out in advance because their schedules make it a little challenging to do that. Okay, so he's all cleaned up. Oh, I missed a spot there. Oh, and now I made it worse. Let's see. The good thing about this paste is that it is erasable if you are using a non-porous surface. Now this wood is obviously porous, so once it dries on here, the chances of it coming off are pretty slim. It would probably smear and stain the wood, but let's say you're going to do this on like a chalkboard surface, you could actually remove it and put a different design down, so that's really cool about it. Okay. Alright, cute, right? Okay, sit that way out of my way. Alright, now we've got the baby bunny. Thanks, Beverly. Hello, Glenda. Thank you so much for the follow. Alright. Put this one here. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I want to make sure that I get most of the design on there. So we have had a very busy weekend in my household this weekend. Yesterday, one of our sons was in the regionals games for basketball. So they won, excuse me, they won both of their games yesterday. So they get to advance to the regional championship tomorrow. So that's very exciting. And then my other son had a wrestling tournament yesterday. I don't know if any of you are familiar with wrestling. The tournaments last hours and hours. So for this one, I'm going to use this coral. So we had to be up at 5:45 in order to get him to the tournament. So I went to that for a couple of hours, and then I had to leave there to take our youngest, she's 9, to her basketball game. Just get rid of this. She had a basketball game, so that lasted about an hour. and then I went back to the wrestling tournament. So I am kind of wiped out today. I did come home and take a nap yesterday, and it did not refresh me at all. It made me even more tired, so I didn't do a whole lot. I sat and I binge watched some TV shows that I wanted to get caught up on. And this one is super thick. I would prefer to actually thin it out just a little bit, but I do not have any distilled water. So if you do have this, or you look at getting some, when it's thick like that, you can add just a little bit of distilled water, but you don't want to use anything other than distilled water because you don't want it to grow mold or anything like that in your pod. Okay. I know, Krista, it's a lot. It is a lot. Thank you, Tammy. It is a pretty color. I need to do better about using it more often. But right now we're kind of in our busy time. I mean, we're always busy, but with 2 different kids in basketball and wrestling, the scheduling is quite chaotic. All right, same thing. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that paste and start pushing through my transfer here. You guys, I don't know if you're familiar with Chocolate Tour. Most of you probably are, but they also make an ink that is permanent. So if you wanted, I have made a shirt before with the ink. And they have so many of these transfers with awesome designs that you can really make just about anything. The options are endless. So with the ink, when you put it on a shirt, for example, you would let it sit for 24 hours and heat set it. And you can just make some really cool designs. Okay. Alright, we will peel this one back here. So cute. Kind of hard to see against my orange shirt. Adorable. Running out of room. Let's put this right here. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and give this just a quick dry. Let me go ahead and close these back up. They're thick enough. I don't want the air to get to them too much. Hello, Queen Bee's Bits and Baubles. I probably should have put an apron on. I'm bound to get paint all over my shirt, I'm sure. Thanks, Beverly. Hi, Bronya. Okay, guys, I was going so quick to get everything together and to get on the live. I feel like I'm speed crafting once again, so I've got some time so I can slow down just a little bit here. So what is the weather like where you guys are all at? I'm in central Illinois. We're finally getting, dare I say, a warm front. It's supposed to be in the 40s this week, which I am so thankful for. I went out earlier today and it felt so nice compared to, you know, the low teens that it's been and below 0 overnight. I'm sure my furnace is so grateful because it's been working non-stop. Yeah, you get paint on you with or without an apron, yeah. At least with the apron, it's okay. All right. So I have a stencil that I got from Temu. I know a lot of people aren't fans of Temu, but it's, you know, crafting on a budget sometimes. They do feel pretty thin. I've not used them yet, so I'm going to give it a go. Stenciling is not really one of my best things that I do anyway, but I figured either it'll work, and if it don't, then I can always paint over it. And I do think I'm going to have to go ahead and paint the back side of this wood. It looks like it's starting to buckle just a little bit. So if you paint both sides of your wood when they're this thin, that will help it so it'll flatten back out. Yeah, 50s in California, that's crazy. Still cold in Wisconsin, I see. Oh, you're going to get 60s in North Carolina. I can't wait. I am not a cold weather person, so I question why we live here, but, you know, we do. My husband and I have lightly talked about, you know, when the kids are all out of school, where we will maybe end up later in life, and it's definitely going to be somewhere warm. We have one daughter who lives in Florida. She's 18, so we have some other family that lives there as well. So I could foresee us making our way there. Yeah, negative 26. Holy mackerel. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can't remember it, but I know that it got down to, I want to say negative 10, 11, something like that here in central Illinois. Oh, the Temu stencils do work well. Okay, that's good. Like I said, I'm not very good at stenciling. I can do well with the chalk couture transfers, but we shall see how it goes. I don't know if you can see this round, how it's bouncing up on the table because I just painted the one side. So doing the second side should help it flatten back out. Krista, are you very close to the Dells? We love going to Kalahari. We didn't make it there last year, and I don't know if we're going to make it this year or not just yet. We are planning another cruise, so that's not going to be until December. We usually go in February when we go to the Dells. Because, you know, it's so cold and there's not a whole lot to do here in terms of outdoor entertainment. So we like to go up to Kalahari. And even though all the outside water park stuff is closed, there's still plenty to do on the inside. You're in Madison? Okay. So do you guys go to the water parks there? There are so many. We've only ever done Kalahari. Kind of a creature of habit. When I find a place that I like, that's kind of what we do and what we go back to. 39. Yeah, it is a big difference. When I went outside today, it was like a breath of fresh air compared to what it's been. My husband opened up the garage door and kind of swept out the garage and did a little bit of cleaning out there. I'm hoping that it's going to stay on the uptrend as far as the temperature is concerned. Just a little spot there. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing I make for myself is ever perfect. Well, nothing I make ever is probably perfect, but that's the beauty of handmade, right? I have a little brush. Oh, my daughter's correcting me. She said I made her and she's perfect.
Duh.
You gotta love her confidence. Okay. I had just a little bristle there, so I got that off. But one side will be the back side, so it's okay if it's less perfect than the other side. 18 and 21. We've been to most of them. Too many people. Hey, Michelle. Thanks for popping in today. How are ya? Yeah, so our kids range from, well, we have 2 adults that live out of the house. So between my husband and I, we have a total of 9. We've got one in his mid-30s, one in her mid-20s, and then an 18-year-old. She turned 18 in December. My other daughter that was just talking to me, she will be, nobody wants to see cats for the ghost skin. My other daughter will be 18 in April. And then I've got a son who will be 16 in March, a daughter who turned 15 in December. My other son is 14, he'll be 15 in August. And then a son who turned 13 in December. And then my daughter who is 9 and her birthday is in April. So, yeah, 3 December birthdays with Christmas is chaos. Noah's Ark. I don't know. I'll have to look up that one. I don't know that I've heard of that one. Is it an indoor, outdoor, or just outdoor? Yeah, a day. You're close enough that you can just go for a day. For us, it's about a 4-hour drive. So when we go up, we usually go from like Thursday to Sunday or Thursday to Monday, something like that. Just gonna dry this up before I flip it over and give a look at the other side. Yeah, it's flattened back out now that I've painted both sides. Oh, it's just outdoor. That's probably why I haven't heard of it, because when I checked them out in the past, I've always just focused on the ones with the indoor since we go when it's still cold out. And I originally, on top of the fact that it was cold out, because we have so many kids, hey Natasha, so many kids, and with my anxiety of being able to keep track of everybody, it just kind of freaked me out, the thought that some could be outside, some could be inside, and all of that, so it was easier just to keep them all contained in the indoor place. But now they're all a little older, minus the youngest one, but I'm sure the bigger ones would be just fine running around outdoors. Okay. So, I think the side that I just painted will be our front. Check these and see. Give them a quick dry too. Hello, Clifton's Crafty Casa. How are you? Thanks for being here. Again, you guys, today I am in the Creative Clubhouse group event. If you're not part of that group, go ahead and go over to that group and follow, so that way you can catch all of the crafters who are up after me live today, or you can go back and catch the replays from today or even the past events that are on there. And when I am done, you'll be able just to refresh the page and see who's up after me to save yourself from having to page hop and find everybody. All right. So, my goal is to have the sweet little bunnies on here. and use my welcome stencil up here at the top. It's going to have to go pretty high up because I do have some moss I want to put at the bottom of the bunnies. Try to get a feel for where I want it here. I'm going to stand up so I can see if I've got it centered. Good enough for me. Maybe just a smidge more. Okay. All right. So, just tinsel on my welcome. I'm going to use chalk paint since it's a little bit thicker and these stencils are so thin. I think I'll have better luck and less bleed through if I use chalk paint. So I've got this color Celery here. And where did my stencil brush go? There it is, right in front of me. All right. Hi Katrina, how are you? Did your package arrive yet? Well, I know I've used this before, I thought. Yes, there we go. Okay. Now I've got an Essential stencil brush here. You guys, I am not an affiliate or a designer for Chalk Couture or any of these products that I'm using, but they work the best, I think. They're made to do what they do and they work well, so I have made that investment. Hey Loretta, how are you? Not yet? Okay. Well, it said it would be there today. I have not looked to track it. So I'm going to get just a little bit on my brush and then offload some of it over here. And I think I'm just going to try to stipple. I'm going to pounce this on here. Probably should have got some painter's tape to try to hold this stencil in place. I was debating on whether or not I should use sage or celery because I really want to make sure that it stands out. But I felt like the celery was more springy than the sage. I'm sorry if I'm missing comments. I'm trying to focus on this here. Like I said, stenciling like this is not really one of my strong suits, but we're gonna make it work. And I think the best approach when you're stenciling is less is more on your brush. You get less bleed through, so you can always go back and add more, but it's a pain to try to fix and take off or cover. But that is the beauty of paint. If we mess something up, then we can always just go back over it. Loretta, I was watching your replay earlier of you at the antique store. Did you find anything good? I know you had a couple of things when I hopped off so I could get ready for here. You had just a couple of things. The prices were kind of a little high. For my preference anyway, I don't know. Maybe not for everybody, but I have not been thrifting or antiquing in quite a while. I'm really trying to refrain from buying a bunch of new stuff until I use what I've got. I have so much stuff that I need to start using. But my problem is, see, I watch all you amazing creators out there and I think, oh, I want to make that. So then I buy all the things to make, you know, something similar, put my own spin on the project. So I buy everything and then I see something else and then it's like a vicious cycle I'm in. So my goal is to break the cycle. So this does look like it's covering okay, and I'm going to be able to see it, but I am going to go back and put a second layer on it. Again, I appreciate you all being here with me today. If you're not already following my page, I would appreciate it if you could hit that follow button for me. And if you're not following any of the other presenters, I did not shape that up very good. Please give them a like and a follow as well. So far the stencil does seem like it's doing really well. Alright. Looks like the lighting is okay. I was a little worried about the lighting when I was getting ready to come live. I've not ever went live this early in the day before, so I was worried that the lighting was going to be terrible for you guys, but it looks like you can see. Alright, I am going to hold one hand down here and lift with the other so I can kind of hinge this back and see what we're working with. Oh, very good. It's looking great. Make sure I didn't miss any spots. Looks like I need to hit the C just a little more right there. Oh. Okay, you guys, I impressed myself. I told you stenciling was not really my jam, but it turned out just fine. Got a little bristle there I need to get off. Alright. And I am going to take a little brush, I think. So you can see the bridges and the letters, like right here at the top of the L, where it's got a little gap. I'm going to try and carefully fill those little gaps in. I guess I should open that back up. I'm going to take that off. Oh, let me just shape that up some more. Okay. Just go right into the cap. Tiny little bit. Oh, this brush is not good. You guys, give me just a second to grab a brush from right here. Okay. Let's try this one. Alright, sorry about that. I don't have the steadiest of hands, so this is a little challenging, but we'll get it. Again, I'm just filling in the gaps there where the stencil has the little bridge where they connect. Guys, up after me is Sweet and Sassy Crafting. I've got about 17 minutes left, so be sure to refresh your page when I'm done so you can see what amazing projects she's got. Alright, dry this up here. Comments stopped. Let me go out and back in. Alright. Cover that little spot. Okay. All right, so the spots are still wet. You can see where I just filled them in. Okay. Move some of the stuff out of the way. Bring back our bunnies. Alright. So this bunny is facing, looking back, so I do want that one on the right, and I know it's all backwards for you guys. That way it's like that little bunny is looking back at the other little bunny. This is what I'm thinking. Okay, so I'm going to use a mixture of the Type Bond Quick and Thick and my regular old hot glue. These bunnies are a little heavy compared to this wood round is really thin and flimsy, so I'm being pretty generous with the glue. I'm gonna stand up so I can get it on here right. I've got a little bit of oozing glue over here, so I'm just going to use my tweezers to get that off of there. Nobody but me would have probably ever seen it, but that's okay. Alright, now with our baby bunny. Cute. Okay. And I have this reindeer moss from the Dollar Tree. I thought it would be cute. All this stuff is so messy. If I put some down here at the bottom of the bunnies. So So we'll see how good we can get it to stick. I'm really being very generous with my glue here. You just go to my page.
I did. It wasn't on
My husband said he was trying to hop on the live and he couldn't find it. Alright. Alright, let's see. Alright, so I am gonna, trim off the bottom here, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and go up more around the sides. Oh, he's whispering, he found it.
It's not about a minute behind the line.
Mm-hmm. Alright. You guys, I gotta grab another glue stick. I don't know why I keep them all the way over there and not just right here next to me anyway. Okay. Just a little bit more down at the bottom. I kind of want it going up over the bottom of the bunnies a little bit, I think. So it looks like they're standing in it. Cute, cute, cute. All right. So here's where we're at. Just a little bit more right there over his foot. Here we go. It looks more natural and organic that way, I think. Okay. Now I think for a hanger for this, I'm just going to use some jute. But we have time. I'm going to try to whip up a bow, I believe, to put on here. There's not a whole lot of room at the top. So after I get the bow made, I may have to actually attach it to the jute. We'll see how we're doing on time. I am not a bow maker, so I do have to use the bow dabra. And I don't know if Kelly is still on here or not, but Kelly, if it accidentally gets broken and I buy the big one, I'm gonna blame you when my husband asks me. Alright. This ribbon might be a little big, but you and bows are enemies. Yeah, I'm not a big bow maker. I could make a bow to save my life until I got the bow dabber, and they're still, you know, not necessarily the best. Oh, I almost forgot my string. You bought yours as a set? Yeah, I don't know why I didn't do that. I don't make a whole lot of bows, but I find myself wanting to more and more lately, so I should have done the same thing. Alright, so I've got green and pink and this burlap. The burlap has a little bit of lace, so I think I'll do that one in the front. These scissors need sharpened. Okay. Again, while I have a few minutes left, I want to again say thank you to all of the admins of the Creative Clubhouse group for having me today. And be sure to go and like the Creative Clubhouse so you can catch all the presenters. Oh, that's my husband. Thank you, darling. Probably should have used the smaller jute, but it was not within my reach, so working with what I got. Okay. And I'll probably fuss with this bow 100 times before I'm happy with it. So I'm thinking something like that, and then I'll find a cute little button to put on there. Let's see, I have time to add a hanger real quick here. Put a little piece of that pink burlap back there just for some extra reinforcement. So again, the next presenter is Sweet and Sassy Crafting. I believe her name is Regina. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when I'm done here in 2 minutes, you'll just want to refresh your page. And that way you can catch her. And I will be sure, I'll probably maybe even add some little jute bows to the bunnies' necks, because that always looks cute just to fancy them up a little bit. But I will post a picture in the Creative Clubhouse when I get it all finished. And I want to thank everybody for joining me today. So, I'm not going to pull on it just yet because it's not quite set. But there's what we got, and then I think what I'll do is add the bow actually to the string itself, to the hanger itself, so that way it doesn't cover quite as much of the words. So what do you guys think? Like I said, I was a fill-in really quickly last minute today to be here, which I appreciate the chance to do that. And I hope all of our crafters who aren't feeling well get some rest, to get to feeling better soon. So I just threw this little project together real quick. I hope you all like it, and I think it turned out really cute. I'm just going to use the extra jute on the back to tie that up. Alright guys, there it is. Thank you again so much for being here. That is my time. Thank you again to the Creative Clubhouse admins for having me. I do appreciate you. And then you guys go ahead and just refresh your page and you'll be able to catch the next presenter. Have a great day, everyone.